So I did a TikTok recently, and I was talking about a young woman I came across on the For You page. Seemed like a nice enough young woman, and the basis of her TikToks was I was once in the Trump cult, and now I'm out. Now I'm not brainwashed anymore. Now I'm better. And I'm going to tell you all the horror stories that I had from being in the Trump cult. She used the term cult. And what struck me as interesting was that in the comments, there's a lot of people embracing her, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you. You've been through so much. Everything's terrible, and I'm so happy you're doing that." Now, this woman might be telling the truth. I hope she's telling the truth. I hope she saw the light. I have a son that's 27. I know 26 and 27-year-old kids make dumb mistakes, and they deserve a second chance. I agree with you there. But after seeing that, I had a strong feeling that I needed to answer that. And what I said was, that's all and good. But after 4 years of trying to undermine democracy and insurrection, being misled and lied to about a pandemic, having this going on over 4 years, I'm going to need more than a smile and a whoops-a-daisy to embrace this person or those people. Now, some of these people mistook it as I was specifying this woman. I'm talking about this woman because that's the woman I saw on TikTok, and their responses are the responses I saw. But when I talk about this, it's really about the whole movement of Donald Trump. As I've said, for 4 years, we've got lied to, we've got pushed around, we've seen racism, we've seen the undermining of democracy. We see lies about a pandemic that got 450,000 people dead. We've got kids put in cages and treated like animals. By just going on TikToks for 60 seconds or 10 60-second TikToks and says, "I'm all better now. I'm going to tell you about the horrors." I don't feel compelled yet to embrace that person or any person in that group as yet, because I don't trust them. And I have a track record and a history to give me good reason not to trust them. Again, it's not about this little girl. She might be totally honest and she might be on the right track, and I hope she is. But as a whole, I'm very cautious about anybody that followed Donald Trump because they were so vicious. They'd attack people, they'd call them snowflakes, they treat people horribly. And now that they've lost, they want unity, they want to hug us. I'm suspicious of that. Call me a jerk for doing that, but that's just me. And I got a lot of people on that TikTok to agree with me, and that's fine. I appreciate that. And I got a lot of people that disagreed with me. They would say, "Oh, you're just mean. Yeah, you are a dick because you're not embracing this girl. You have to understand what she's gone through. You have to understand the trouble she's seen." Well, you have to remember the pain and suffering and trouble this country has seen for 4 years. And before I embrace somebody who was part and parcel to supporting that, I need something more from them before I feel confident enough to embrace them. Again, this isn't about just her. I don't know her. I'm not giving her name out. I'm not yelling at her. I'm talking about the whole concept, the whole movement. We've gone through something like we've never gone through before. We had a group of people in the government trying to destroy this country. And then we had this massive group supporting them rabidly for 4 years. They tried to steal the election. I can't make them my friends right away. I got to see some proof that I can trust them. Now, the people that got mad at me, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But don't get mad at me because you don't agree with me. I'm not mad because you don't agree with me. We all have a right of an opinion. And to be angry at somebody because they don't believe like you do, that sounds like the Republicans. That sounds like the Trumplicans. Now, I'm not saying that's who you are or what you do, but understand this. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And they base their opinion on experience and history. And that's what I'm doing. These weren't just naughty people who we now can forgive. These are people who tried to destroy this country. And I'm not even worried about it for me. I'll be fine no matter what happens. What pisses me off and what worries me and angers me the most is they're wrecking this country, they're hurting this country, and it's going to affect my kids and my grandkids. Now, you can do pretty much anything to me. You can call me a dick, you can call me a jerk, you can say whatever you want to me. But if you start screwing with my kids or my grandkids, then I'm going to have a problem. And I'm not just going to forgive everybody that asks for it. So, the young woman who did the videos, I'm not trying to beat her up. If she's real, great. But as a rule, as a whole, this group of people who rabidly supported somebody who's as big a criminal as Donald Trump, I'm going to be suspicious of. And I'm going to be cautious when I deal with them. And it's going to be a little time before I can trust any of them. So hopefully that's more of an understanding of what that TikTok was about. And for those of you who disagree with me, great. That's your right. But it's also my right. We can debate it. You can tell me she's a nice girl. Maybe you can teach me some things to make me believe in her. But the group as a whole, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a real lot of information for me to trust any one of those. And if that's a shitty, jerky, dick way of handling it, well, that's me. That's me, and that's the way I got to do it. I got 60 years of history in my life. I've dealt with bad people. I've dealt with good people, and I deal with them all the same. I trust you till I can't, and when I can't, you got to work very hard to get it back. Thanks for joining me on Rational Boomer.